In what's being dubbed an unexpected masterclass in media authenticity, Scarlett Johansson's recent appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert not only captivated audiences, it ignited a wave of criticism aimed at Meghan Markle, whose own podcasting ambitions have once again come under fire. Though Markle was not present during the broadcast, her absence has only amplified a glaring contrast that has become increasingly difficult to ignore. Where Johansson exudes grounded charm and substance, Markle's media image continues to spiral into a spectacle of self-importance and overreach. Scarlett Johansson's segment on The Late Show was lighthearted, thoughtful, and refreshingly uncalculated. Discussing her career, personal values, and experiences with honesty and poise, Johansson connected effortlessly with both Colbert and the viewers. Her demeanor wasn't just likable, it was magnetic. Within hours, social media exploded with praise for her grace and humor. The episode climbed rapidly in viewership metrics, sparking conversation not only about Johansson's enduring appeal but also about the missteps of other celebrities attempting to use media platforms to control public narratives. Inevitably, Meghan Markle's name resurfaced in the discourse. The Duchess of Sussex has long positioned herself as a media maven since stepping away from royal duties. Her podcast Archetypes, launched with much fanfare under the Spotify banner, was meant to uncover the labels that hold women back. But behind the high-minded branding lay a series of troubling revelations, ghostwritten interviews, allegations of staff burnout, and even suggestions that Markle may not have conducted some of the high-profile interviews herself, including with icons like Serena Williams and Mariah Carey. Spotify, which had reportedly invested close to $20 million into the Archwell audio deal, severed ties with Markle and Prince Harry in 2023. Bill Simmons, a Spotify executive, didn't mince words, labeling the royal couple ing grifters during a podcast episode. "That's the podcast we should have launched with them," Simmons quipped. "I've got to get drunk one night and tell the story of the Zoom I had with Harry to try and help him with a podcast idea. It's one of my best stories." The remark went viral, and Meghan's credibility as a content creator took a serious hit. That credibility crisis was thrown into even sharper relief after Johansson's Colbert appearance. Viewers were quick to note how engaging conversation and authentic storytelling qualities Markle frequently touts can exist without self-promotion or manufactured gravitas. Scarlett didn't need to mention breaking barriers or reclaiming narratives. She simply spoke and people listened. This contrast hasn't gone unnoticed by critics of Markle's media ventures. Many pointed out that while Johansson made a rare appearance and still stole the spotlight with humility and wit, Markle's constant media presence often feels performative. It's not the visibility that draws ire, it's the apparent lack of substance behind it. The Duchess's image, once buoyed by sympathetic portrayals of her royal ordeal, has increasingly tilted toward narcissism and control, often wrapped in the language of empowerment. The irony is bitter. Meghan Markle has repeatedly claimed to be silenced, yet has had more platforms than most to voice her perspective, from Oprah Winfrey's high-profile interview to her own docuseries and podcast. But while those appearances have frequently centered on perceived slights and injustices, they have struggled to maintain sustained public interest beyond their initial sensationalism. Meanwhile, Johansson's one-off interview reminded the public of something Markle seems to have forgotten: authenticity resonates more deeply than manufactured narratives. What has added fuel to the fire is the perception that Markle sees herself as a cultural tastemaker, a visionary, despite falling short in executing compelling, audience-focused content. Unlike Johansson, who has spent decades cultivating a respected artistic career, Markle's body of media work often seems less interested in storytelling and more obsessed with control, validation, and relevance. In the aftermath of Johansson's viral interview, there are rumors, though not yet confirmed, that Meghan is quietly attempting to relaunch her podcast with a new platform. But even before it sees the light of day, critics question whether anything new can emerge unless she ditches the heavy-handed messaging and embraces genuine, spontaneous dialogue. In short, she must stop trying so hard to prove she's interesting and simply be interesting. The comparison may feel unfair to Markle's defenders, but it is Markle herself who has chosen to play in the public arena of celebrity competition. And in that arena, the audience, not royalty or rhetoric, determines the victor. Scarlett Johansson's effortless charm has reminded many of what authentic media connection truly looks like, leaving Meghan Markle with a hard truth: presence alone does not equal impact. And so, while Johansson exits Colbert's stage to thunderous applause and admiration, Meghan Markle is left grappling with a growing question she cannot easily spin. If authenticity is the new currency, is she bankrupt? The uncomfortable reality for Meghan is that audiences are growing weary of curated vulnerability and selective victimhood packaged as empowerment. The media landscape has shifted. People no longer crave grand declarations of personal struggle wrapped in branded slogans. They crave realness, nuance, and above all, sincerity. Scarlett Johansson offered exactly that, without agenda or overproduction, and the public responded. Meanwhile, Meghan's carefully constructed narrative, once seen as bold and trailblazing, now feel tired. Each new endeavor appears tethered to the same grievance-fueled formula: Meghan versus the institution, Meghan versus the media, Meghan versus expectations. But when everything becomes a battle, fatigue inevitably follows. At some point, even the most sympathetic audience begins to ask, what else is there? What Johansson achieved in one unscripted conversation is something Markle has struggled to deliver across millions of dollars in production deals: connection without preaching, presence without performance. It's a wake-up call, not just to Meghan, but to every celebrity banking on calculated storytelling. As the applause for Johansson still echoes online, Meghan faces a pivotal choice: evolve and engage with the world as it is, or continue clinging to a narrative that fewer and fewer people are buying.